Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Wanted to jump on and make a short video regarding this J.Cole dilemma. Because I think that there's a perspective of this that's being missed by a lot of people. So let's go to the speech that was given during this concert. And I want to pick apart specifically what I think that he was getting to in that speech. I think the crutch of it is surrounding the fact that he doesn't believe the things that he said in the 7-minute drill. I think that he felt that there was an expectation of him to respond, and being that it's a rap battle and he's responding to the critiques of Kendrick Lamar, that he felt like he needed to jump out the window on a couple of things, but he doesn't actually believe the things that he said in that song. And that's what he has a problem with. That's what was bothering him. He's not above battling with Kendrick Lamar. You know, I don't think he has a fear of any rappers. We all know that J. Cole raps at a high level. And if you don't think he has historically in his career, most recently, I think that we can unanimously agree that he is rapping at a top tier level. So I don't think that he's saying he's above all of that. I don't think that he's saying that he's trying to duck smoke. I think that he just believes, and as a lot of people believe, that what he tried to target Kendrick Lamar with in that song is not valid. It's very difficult to question Kendrick Lamar's discography. It just is what it is. Whether you like or dislike any of his projects or any one of his projects, there's no debating that all of his projects are top tier. They're all top quality, and they all contain substance. You may have your own personal choosing as to, you know, the flavor of Kendrick Lamar that you like, no Diddy. But it can't be debated that his body of work that he has created in his career is stellar. There's no getting around that. So to create a song where you are questioning that discography, it's not gonna fly, and it didn't fly. We're complaining that he apologized, but we're forgetting that just 24 hours ago we were calling the 7-minute drill corny. We called it a weak response. We called it, some of you called it trash, and the reason we called it trash was because of what he said in that song. And I think that's what people are subconsciously missing. We called it trash because we know that what he said in the 7-minute drill is not valid. It's not a valid critique. It could never be a valid critique because there is really no chinks in the armor when it comes to Kendrick's musical output. Like I said, now you may not agree or like a particular project of his, but there is no denying that whether you like it or not, there's no questioning its quality. It really all breaks down to personal preference, as it does with any rapper's albums. You can go through any rapper that has 3 or more albums, and there's always going to be a group of people that say they don't like this particular album or they don't like that particular album. And I think for the most part, in most rappers' history, we equate those critiques to just a drop in quality of product. That's not the case for Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar has never had a drop in product output. It just hasn't happened. And I think that's the issue that Drake is having. And I think that it's going to continue to be an issue Drake is having if he responds to Kendrick Lamar, because Drake is in the same boat. Drake cannot question anything about Kendrick's music. He can't call Kendrick broke. He can't say that Kendrick doesn't sell records. He can't say that Kendrick isn't an amazing artist with the accolades to prove that he's an amazing artist. A lot of those accolades that Drake himself does not have and has frequently expressed that he feels like he should have. The only thing that Drake can say to Kendrick Lamar is that he sells more records than him. And that's just an output thing. If we look at album to album, if we compare a Kendrick Lamar album to a single Drake album outside of his prime, there's really not that big of a difference in sales. There really isn't a large super gap there. The gap comes into play because of Drake's output. Drake puts out 2 to 3, maybe 4 projects a year if he wants to, along with a bevy of singles, mixtapes. Drake just has a very high output. So he sells a lot of records overall. But when Kendrick comes out with a project, the project sells. It sells, and it sells well, and it sells just as good as a Drake project would. So that's really the only thing that Drake can say to him. And I don't think that the general public wants to hear that, because we already know that there's nobody in the dark about that. If we're waiting for Drake to respond just to say that, then there's no point in Drake responding. And I think that's why he doesn't respond. He knows that if he puts out a record that is solely dedicated towards Kendrick Lamar, that we are going to say the same thing that we said about J. Cole's response, that it was corny. So there's really no point. The Kendrick Lamar fan in me, I'm an unbiased Kendrick Lamar fan, but still a Kendrick Lamar fan wants Drake to respond, just so that can be said. But I think Drake is smarter than that. I think Drake is a very smart dude. I think he makes calculated moves. I think he's very aware of what the social structure is and how people view things and how people ask for things, that when you give it to them, they say that it ain't shit. So I don't really expect for Drake to drop a back-to-back or any type of response that he would give to a Meek Mill or Pusha T or Kanye. I don't think that he would do that to Kendrick Lamar, because unlike Kendrick Lamar, all of those guys have things that Drake can say about them that would be valid, that we would listen to. I don't think there's anything for Drake to say about Kendrick that we would actually believe was valid. So yeah, that's my critique on that. That's how I see it. I think we got J. Cole fucked up a little bit in what he's trying to say here. These guys have been friends for a long time. They've came up together. I know they have a immense respect for each other, especially when it comes to the music that they put out. I do think Kendrick is ready to die on his heel when it comes to this rap shit and his legacy. So he's prepared to go wherever it needs to go for that to be solidified in his mind. But Cole, that's not his MO. It's never been his MO. We don't expect that from J. Cole. We've never expected that from J. Cole. And if you're a true J. Cole fan, then that speech should really not be a surprise to you. That's 100% something that I would expect J. Cole to do, because that's not who he is. Yes, he's a very elite rapper. Yeah, he could chew a nigga up if he wanted to. I thoroughly believe that. But I don't believe that he wants to spar with Kendrick Lamar simply based on the fact that he doesn't have anything negative to say about Kendrick Lamar that would be based in truth. And if you're going to get on the mic and not speak the truth, then there's no point of getting on the mic and putting out responses. That's just the thing. If you agree with me, don't agree, have any questions, comments, any additional discussion that you want to have around this topic, feel free to drop it in the comments. Have a good day.